All right, well, game number 1 here. Starting off shortly, Reload Esports versus Creed. This is an elimination one as well. The lower quarterfinals here. Loser of this is knocked out of the tournament.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Blind pick will be interesting for both these teams. Is it a Mischief? No, it's not.
Holy Priest!
Holy Priest!
Oh.
I like this. This is a really good composition. The Holy Priest, Fire Mage, Elemental Shaman, really strong right now. And there are a lot of people that think the Holy Priest is a close contender to Paladin, and maybe if Paladins do fall off, Holy Priest could make kind of a comeback. But we definitely will see. I think this is a great pick here from Creed, though.
Trent just messaged me and he said, what about to come is what we call the special. So right now, this is brought to you by Creed here, ladies and gentlemen. The special, it's coming in. We're going to see exactly what that means. But right now, it looks, I'm not sure. Also, Drainer used to play Holy Priest with his Xbox controller. I'm not sure if he is playing that Holy Priest with his Xbox controller. I would be extremely disappointed if he's not. But we're going to see here what the special ends up being. Oh, here we go. They're looking to launch it. Special looked especially disappointing right now.
Valet just fade immune to all of the damage. They hit him with like 10 different things at once, and he immune to all 3 of them at the same time. So that big blast attack is going to be thwarted. And I think the main concern for me at the moment for Drainer is mana. Will he be able to maintain mana deeper into dampening here? He's fading to cross the map and immune crowd control, so interesting reposition. Not wanting to be on Lontar's side of the map. Valet's back behind the pillar. Trainer trying to stay ahead of damage here with this pair of mendings. Perhaps he will be able to drink. He's using Feather. Looks like they want to set up a drink here. Is anyone going to be able to stop Drainer is the question. He's waiting to drop combat, sits down. Is Mercy going to leap in here? They're just going to let him drink. It looks like they're just attacking Saza. He gets silenced on his way back in, but Guardian Angel is up, so Saza is going to be able to rebound from a death strike there and potentially receive a lot of extra healing as well. Valet send up. Lontar and a Dragon's Breath. Valet again, the target. Mind Games attempt. Still very powerful, even on a Holy Priest. Valet laying in with a Void Eruption. I feel like this is a matchup that we have yet to see. Shadow Priest Warrior. There's no Paladin. There's actually no Paladin period in this game, so this is pretty interesting in the lower bracket. I wasn't anticipating this.
That's why they're in the lower bracket, probably.
Okay.
I mean,
True.
I'm just joking. All right, Baka right now taking a little bit of damage. Valet getting that pressure rolling. Saz in the midfield right now. I have to agree with you, Seth. I feel like mana for Drainer is going to be the big issue in this match. He can't sustain, and also the range stun, the chastise stun that Drainer has available, really, really powerful, as Lontar won't be able to dispel it, unlike Hammer of Justice. So if they can get that clean setup with a Combustion and that Elemental Shaman, they definitely can just delete someone really, really quickly. And we're going to be looking to see that in this match. Let's see who they decide to go after. Baka right now has a ton of damage available. Looks like he wants to go after Valet just a little bit. Valet just going to be repositioning, playing it safe, and just allow Mercy on that warrior to tank out a lot of this damage.
Oh, let's see here what they can do. They get a sheep. Saza going for a Ring of Frost. Actually blinks out of range right there. A little bit unfortunate. He's going to pop the Combust anyway. And it's not going to be doing too much here. Actually, Valet going out in the midfield here, getting aggressive right now, looking for the mind games here. Saza forced to kind of just run back to his side of the map here, trying to get a little bit defensive. Nice Guardian coming out from Drainer. He's going to keep Saza completely topped here. And once again, Lontar actually flesh crafting that Hex right there, and he's going to be able to stay alive, stay out of crowd control here for a little bit longer. He lands the wind shear onto Saza. He gets pummeled by Mercy as well, and Saza is basically just a punching bag at this point. Drainer looking to keep his mage alive a little bit here, but Saza forced to use his trinket, using a second blink here, shifting power coming out as well, resetting another blink here. So Saza should be able to get away from Mercy here. Finally, looking for the Ring of Frost. He gets it, but nobody is in it. Valet, can he fear somebody into it? He gets a Dragon's Breath there. Can he get a Polymorph or something? Doesn't look like they're going to be able to find any follow-up crowd control there. Now, once again here, they're looking to get some distance here from Lontar. Constantly Drainer repositioning away, actually getting full mana. Saza might need to use his Ice Block here, and there it is. Master Spell is going to come out as well from Valet. So they trade the Ice Block, but Drainer does get a full mana bar. Drainer has no trinket though, so Saza could potentially go down if they can land a a fear or something on Drainer, a crowd control chain, and then a stun on Saza. That could be the game. And for Creed, well, Tren, where's the special, bro? Like, we're waiting here for the damage, but we can't see it anywhere. Combust is going to be available here for Saza, so let's see if that is the special here.
Okay, mana. I mean, they've got a significant advantage at this point, just about to hit dampening, so it's looking good. Stormkeeper Combust, they're gonna pop it on the counterspell. That is the combo, and Lone Tar ducks in with his Spirit Link Totem just in the nick of time. That could have easily been lights out, but now Lone Tar's caught into a hex. They flip the switch. They're going after Mercy, locking him down in a lightning lasso. He now has to use Medallion to escape amidst that setup. They do have decent counter pressure with Baka down at half, Saza at half with no ice block. Baka looking like he may just get taken out here if Mercy can connect, but he's not able to. Drainer restabilizing the team, managing to actually cost cooldowns on both sides. Neither side walks away uninjured, but Mercy stunned up again by the Holy Priest Chastise. Not enough damage to take him out. Baka just maintaining flame shocks, getting ready potentially to land a wind shear. Big lava burst onto Valet. Drainer gets reflected on his stun. Good punish there. But now Mercy is caught in a lasso as Drainer is trying to reposition, maybe getting a bit too aggressive as Mercy is going after him. Valet and Lone Tar pushing forward now as well. They knock Mercy back to midfield. Drainer managing to get back behind the pillar, wanting to avoid any more pressure as it could turn into quite a thriller. Will they be able to stay away from the fight is now the question, with Mercy still at half, charging in. Drainer, he's going to grip in Saza on the Stormbolt. Nice life grip. And then they're just going to swap over to Baka with no Astral Shift. Valet waiting to get out of the counterspell. Mercy ducking around the pillar. Drainer likely to drink in this position as he's repositioned far away from Lone Tar and Valet. Mercy going to leap in and try and deny it, and manages to stop the drink. Baka gets silenced up. Saza pummeled. Good disruption from Reload Esports here as they're trying to stay on top of Drainer's pillar. Drainer going to use Fade and a Feather to try and get across the map as quickly as possible away from them to try and drink. And Mercy's getting blasted. Valet has to Void Shift. And it's still Elemental Shaman Mage. You still have to respect those cooldowns. Otherwise, the game is going to be over. It's looking pretty dicey, I would say, for Reload Esports. I feel like if I'm Creed, I'm pretty comfortable.
Drainer keeps drinking just over and over, and that Void Shift was overlapped with Lone Tar's Trinket. So just keep that in mind. There's no Trinket, there's no Void Shift. Mercy's an isolated target right now in a lasso, but he should be able to hold on. Valet managing to find a full fear onto Drainer. The altar time is up. It gets purged off. Mirror Images giving a slight amount of damage reduction here to Saza. And I think Saza will be able to survive. Drainer grips him to safety, throwing in some heals as well. Drainer's mana still not looking too bad, around 14% dampening. And it's like you said, the Elemental Fire Mage, it's still a threat. You know, if they have their burst damage available, definitely Reload Esports. They have to respect the damage or they're going to be in trouble very quick. It looks like Lone Tar actually now caught into a Hex. Nicely done there by Baka. If he can sneak those in, can set his team up to get a kill. Drainer now going to be crossing the map, kind of overstaying his welcome with that Shadow Priest Warrior Shaman. Then this constant crossing by Drainer, the constant running away, is forcing Reload Esports' hands because they don't want Drainer to go to full mana, but at this point they can't really stop him, and Creed is actually way ahead. I really like their game plan in this one.
Yeah, they just got full mana here once again, and Baka actually looking quite scary right now. He's got his Fire Elemental down, he's got his Stormkeeper popped, he's got his Sky Fury down as well. Well, he timed that now, so he had a lot of damage there, but got feared on it, wasn't able to get it off here in time. Lone Tar just trying to keep Mercy to full HP here. That was a combustion pop there by Saza, but it does get purged out. Lone Tar trying to get aggressive here, trying to kind of run down the enemy team, swap onto Lone Tar here, Lightning Lasso, doing a little bit of work, but Baka not able to capitalize too much on that. Now Lone Tar still dipping to about 50%. Drainer is actually slowed here finally. Now here comes the Door of Shadows. Can he get it off? He gets it off. Mercy wanted to interrupt that so bad, but he didn't have his pommel available, unfortunately. And now Drainer is going to be able to reposition here. He's going to allow him to spam out damage and try to force Mercy off of their side of the map here. And that's exactly what they want to do. They only want to cross the map if Lone Tar crosses the map. Drainer is basically avoiding Lone Tar. And that's the name of the game here. Baka in a silence, taking a lot of damage here. Fear onto Drainer. They get a Psychic Horror. Where is the crowd control? Drainer actually using his Human Racial into his Fade right there, trying to avoid more follow-up crowd control. He's going for a big heal right there. Gets it off, and he's going to be able to stabilize Baka for now. They're actually winning on mana here on the side of Creed. because of all of these drinks. But at any point, Lontar could just drink himself as well if they just stop chasing Creed, because it feels like that's what Creed wants right now.
All right, let's see if they can reset here. It doesn't look like they want to. Charging into midfield. Lontar gets stunned up. His mana is looking dicey. They need to get a kill on Baka soon if they want to close this out, but Lontar's in a full polymorph. Valet has to use Dispersion. They grip Baka away from the fight. Lava Burst being lobbed out. Who are they going to go after? Drainer, Door of Shadows in aggressively, potentially looking for Psychic Scream. Psychic Scream on Lontar. Mercy has to trade down by the sword. Will it be enough this deep into Dampening to survive? It looks like it will as he holds strong at 50% health, trying to stay on top of Saza at the moment. If they can survive the Stormkeeper, they'll be in a good position. They stun Baka on the Stormkeeper. They charge towards Baka, trying to slow down his pressure as much as possible. But these lightning bolts could be massive. He's not able to find them. Looks like they've managed to disrupt Baka just enough. Drainer likely wanting to reposition. He's out in midfield at the moment. Triple Dragon's Breath. Valet gets Earth-shocked down to half. Lontar's trying to recover. His Earthen Wall comes up pretty soon, as he's likely to want to trade that. Saza pre-alter times. Valet looks for Mind Game. Saza goes back. Mercy leaps on top of him. Baka's trying to find Lava Burst, not able to. Mana is somewhat evening out at this point. Drainer dispelling off the Mind Game. Saza, Vulpin blinking away. Door of Shadows from Mercy. Not able to find it. Maybe trying to fake out the second Vulpin blink. But now Mercy is stunned up out in midfield with no die by the sword. He's going to take quite a bit of damage. Charges in on Baka. This could go either way at this point. Deep in Dampening, things will start to get chaotic. Pre-Earthen Wall Totem by Lontar as a Dragon's Breath hits the whole team into a full polymorph, but that Earthen Wall is getting a ton of value on Valet at this moment in time, and they're not able to pressure through it. Nice read by Lontar if they can stay on target, but here comes the Primordial Wave. If this next Lava Burst gets casted by Baka, it could be lights out. He gets stunned for a moment. They have to stop the Lava Burst from Baka here. They're going to grip Baka back to try and find it. Mercy charges in. Lava Burst lobbed out. Valet line of sights it. Lightning bolts onto Mercy, but they've already denied the Primordial Wave burst, and Mercy is leaping in for a slam dunk fear across the board. Baka going to trinket out and Tremor, and Drainer has burned that mana advantage that he had. They've already got block. They cut down block. Now Saza's in a ton of trouble. The Holy Priest composition is beginning to unravel. The pressure is sinking in. They're going to proc the Cauterize. They're pushing for the kill. Drainer breaks out of the stun, trying to stabilize, but Saza is just simply melting at this point. Lontar's team are at 100% health with more than enough cooldowns to close out this game. Just trade for the combustion, stay on target, and do some damage, and that's exactly what they're doing. Trading the die by the sword for the combustion. Valet in the Earthen Wall Totem. Baka's trying to retreat. Saza's trying to retreat. Drainer got left behind. They're blasting the Warrior, trying to take Mercy out of the game as he's pushing forward to close it. Lontar and a poly. Mercy in a ring, getting lightning bolted. Can they do it? Down at 30% remaining health. Mercy going to intervene back to his team. Baka looking for Hex on Lontar. Can they kill the Warrior? Lava Burst. Drainer's completely out of mana. He's at 20% health. Lontar's going to drop the Spirit Link. Mercy, Door of Shadows, gets Wind Sheared, trying to get on target for some executes. It's all they need to do is get the Warrior in range of execute. They can even kill Drainer at this point. He desperate prayers, but he's caught in a stun lock. No way out with no mana remaining. Is Drainer going to be able to survive? No. They will execute him out of the match. Drainer still gets to heal as an angel for a few seconds after dying, but it's unlikely they get any pressure here.
What legendary is he playing?
He's not playing the Resurrect. He's not playing the Resurrect legendary. If he was, I mean, he would get to Resurrect. He's not playing it. I don't think they 2v3 from this position. I mean, they're going to try.
No way. They have Void Shift. They have if they do, Saza's got nothing, dude. Look at him. He might.
Pod.
Can he resurrect as the egg? Come on, the egg.
Something.
It's not going to happen.
What happens if you're a Night Fae? What if you're a Night Fae Holy Priest with Pod?
I don't know.
And the legendary.
Maybe you should try it, Sid.
That's a lot of effort.
Someone's got to try it at that point. You double cheat death. But yeah, that was an interesting pick. I mean, Reload Esports, I feel like that isn't a bad matchup for them at all. I mean, obviously the results speak for themselves. Really, really close game, but later on in Dampening, it seemed like Drainer was really struggling on that Holy Priest, and the Warrior Shadow Priest Shaman could just continue to push the pace. Even though Drainer was ahead on mana for quite some time, Lontar was able to just sustain, and it felt like Saza and Baka were just on the back foot. They really struggled to find pressure. A little bit of damage here on Mercy, as you can see, but 45% dampening. Once they survive this setup, I mean, you can look, Spearling Totem drops, and then just continue immediately. Mercy is going for the Door of Shadows. They just want to pressure down Creed, not let them recover. At this point, with no mana, there's not too much that Drainer can do. In fact, there's nothing he can do. He gets caught in the Psychic Horror, the Silence, and at that point you can see Mercy, Lone Tar, and Filet all just retreat behind the pillar. Look at them, all three of them are like, yep, we don't want that fight. No 2v3 for you. They all just hide, wait for Drainer to disappear from the match, and that's going to be a game 1 victory.
Okay, Reload Esports 1-0 right now in this best of 5 series. Creed starting off with that Holy Priest, not something that we get to see often, but not really surprised there, Supatis, that he opted to choose and sort of off-meta healer spec.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking good before dampening, but once they got into dampening, as long as Reload Esports were trading for the burst damage and not overlapping, there wasn't much damage outside of that, so they could just overwhelm and sort of swarm Drainer's team. On a bigger map, maybe they won't be able to. So, I mean, I could see Creed picking a similar comp on Tolvaron, Empyrean Domain or something like that, and this might not go the way that it went in one of those locations. But on the smaller maps, I think they're going to need something else. I don't see Ellie Firemage Holy Priest working on Hook Point, for example, so I would like to see them try... What are they even going to do if they blind lock Warrior Shadow Priest, though? Even Warrior Shadow Priest was a bit maybe weird in my mind. I was expecting Ret Warrior. I guess they were... I don't know. Yeah, how can you even guess what Creed's going to run? Like, if I'm Reload Esports in this lower bracket, like, they play Prot Mage Warrior because they won a lot of games with that, or are they going to do Ellie Mage because they have that, or are they going to Mistweaver Turbo because they have that? Like... I mean, the Shadow Priest Warrior, I guess, is just a good blind pick overall. What would really beat it other than Ellie Mage on a big map? I feel like maybe you try Tren.
I want to see them run the Prot Warrior like into this specific composition. I actually feel like Prot Warrior Paladin would be good. Prot Paladin Warrior Mage. That like their original composition, I feel like would be good into what Reload Esports is running right now. I mean, that's the kind of matchup they would want, right? They just sit on the Shadow Priest, they have a Warrior and a Fire Mage just blasting them. Drainer can just sit in the back line, just immuning crowd control, running around on a steed until Tuesday or Wednesday.
Wait, is that change coming in on Tuesday, or is that a 9-1 change?
So.
The Divine Steed.
Wait, what are they doing to nerf Prot?
You're no longer immune to crowd control on the steed.
Just roots and snares.
Rip.
Yeah, Prop Pally is dead.
Well, give it one last.
Give it one more last.
Yeah.
one last hurrah before it's gone.
It was fun while it lasted. I think so, at least.
Well, definitely fun for Creed. That's for sure.
Yeah, true.
They got top 3 because of it, so why not, right?
Yeah.
I actually want to see them run it again. I feel like it could be decent.
Prot Paladin or like just Prot Paladin with Warrior and Mage?
Prot Paladin, Warrior Mage. That's it. Specifically into the Shadow Priest.
Yeah.
I want to see Prot Ellie. Prot Ellie Mage.
I like the Warrior. You don't like Warriors?
We've already seen the Warriors. I want to mix it up. Let's get an Ellie in there. see if it's better. I mean, it could be better, right? I mean, like the logic I have is H-Pal Ellie Mage is insane. And I saw the Prot Pal out mana and out dampen H-Pals before H-Pal got nerfed, so...
You know what I want to see?
No.
I want to see Drainer play Resto Druid just to have the the 4 healers that haven't been played much.
Just playing
not
all
playing
the
the
bottom
Shaman,
healers.
he's not playing the Paladin, yeah.
Just bringing up the representation, skewing the numbers.
Yeah, keeping
on
things
the
fresh here with Drainer. You know, he may not always win, but he wins in my eyes.
Have we seen any Resto Druids yet?
I don't think we've seen a single one.
I think they're rarer than Mistweavers at this point.
Yeah.
Have we not seen a
Only
single
'cause of
one?
this one man, but
Actually,
yeah.
I can't remember a single
I don't
Resto
think
Druid.
Knobber's played it. He didn't play it. When I thought
he
he was
played
going to play it,
Paladin.
he didn't play it.
He
Yeah, he
played
played
Paladin.
Paladin.
Resto Druid has been played less than Holy Priest and Mistweaver.
And Prot Pal.
That's weird. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Oh gosh, yeah. Bit unfortunate for Resto Druids right now. But gonna be going to Ashmane's Fall Reload Esports, locking in Shadow Priest Arms Warrior once again. This is
Prot Pally.
Yeah,
That's what I
this is-
want.
I want to see it as well, man. We got 20 seconds left. Let's see if they they decide to lock this in, this could potentially be the last time we see these guys for this cup. So before we see those Pride Paladin changes go out. So yeah, I'm definitely with you, Ben. I'd like to see it one more time.
He's Holy Paladin.
Unfortunately.
Whoa.
But yeah,
he picked
we do
Holy
see
Paladin.
Why is he playing the meta all of a sudden?
There's
Like,
a
what?
smile now on Sid's face.
I can't believe he actually did it. He actually picked a Holy Paladin. I thought he was trying to go like the entire time without playing Holy Paladin. Well, it was the best healer, like trying to send a statement like, I don't need to play the best healer to be able to win. But no,
I actually really wonder how prop Paladin Turbo would be.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
Right?
You would farm this. You would farm this as Holy Paladin or Prop Paladin Turbo.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I want to play Prop Paladin Turbo.
Try it. It's not too late.
Yeah, I feel like it could be good. I guess he wants to get full value of that Shadow Resistor. So here's kind of I think the thought process is for Drainer. You know, obviously a little bit more of a comfort pick to play Mistweaver, but I actually don't think you can play Mistweaver into this comp. I think Valet and Lontar are just going to be spam dispelling everything. Every renewing mist, Gonzo. Every enveloping mist, deleted. So you just can't heal as a Mistweaver monk. So I think this is going to be a much better match. I feel like Creed should win this one. This seems like exactly what Turbo wants. Is just a Shadow Priest and a Shaman healing that. Like, that's happy days for them.
Yeah, we'll see if this works out for us, for them. Trainer on that Holy Paladin. Now we see both compositions locked in, and once again, you're going to be going to Ashamane's Fall here. I love when we're like, you know, it's the last cup here. It's cup number 4. So I feel like when the players are really under pressure here, when they are facing that circuit series soon and they know that time is running out, I feel like we really see some amazing games, and I'm excited to see this one get started here. Seems like one of these teams is using their delays. They're going to be sort of sorting things out in their head. Not sure which team that is, but it sounds like they're working out strategies. Any other predictions? What do you think? Ven predicted Creed, or at least said it was good for Creed. Are you predicting Creed, Ben?
I think so. I feel like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with it. I feel like Turbo into this composition should win.
Okay.
I would be amazed if they don't win, to be honest. The way they set that up is mind games. The only way Reload Esports is going to win this one is if they get a mind games on Baka and take him down. I think that's their only win condition. If Creed responds appropriately and shuts that down, I can't see them really losing this particular match.
All right. Zico, Super Tees?
I feel like I've played against it, but I'm a disc priest when I play Turbo, not a Paladin. So I feel like Paladin Turbo should get this pretty easily. It's just you counter so much of the Shadow Priest damage just with Shadow Resist Aura. I'm wondering if Trainer even plays AoE Dispel and just removes all the dots on cooldown, and then the Shadow Priest isn't getting any insanity, they aren't healing themselves, and they've just got Turbo hammering them. I feel like Paladin Turbo should take this. Creed should take it.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I think Creed.
3 votes for Creed. Okay.
Yep.
All right. It's game number 2. Let's see if you guys are right. Ashamane's Fall. It's Reload Esports versus Creed. Let's see that Holy Paladin and how that's going to work out for these guys.
Well, I think Reload Esports could win on mana, maybe. And also the map is good for them, but aside from that, Valet is going to be a punching bag 100%, but he's probably used to it, being a Shadow Priest main for as long as he's been playing it. So we'll see. Well, that's their role. They're usually the punching bag, and then it's up to their
You're
teammates to make
a masochist
something
if
happen.
you pick Shadow Priest.
Pretty
You
much.
like pain. Look at Baka, like, that's the Shadow Priest, I go. Trend's going in as well. Warbreaker's down. Mercy's trying to peel them with Storm Bolts and intervene, but he got chopped down to half from the intervene damage. I mean, both teams are getting decimated. They're going to disarm Baka. Baka trinkets the disarm to go aggressive, dropping an aggressive Chain Harvest, really trying to plow through with damage right off the bat here. Mercy going to trade Die by the Sword during this exchange, which I think was wise, going 1-for-1 with the Ascendants. And now that those cooldowns have subsided, we're going to have to see which team comes out ahead in the downtime. Valet, it looks like he's trying to reposition far back from the pillar and pull Drainer out. Drainer is now out away from the pillar, so what are they going to do with it? They're trying to hex Baka. Crowd controlling the enhancement shaman is a viable strategy if they want to not dot and just spam hex the shaman. But if they're dotting him and they're attacking like this and cleaving, it's not going to work. So a bit surprised to see the hex strategy. Why is this not getting decursed by Baka? This one is understandable, but both teams are kind of just cleaving each other, so hex is not going to be particularly powerful. Mana surprisingly even at this point. Valet hasn't had to use any real significant cooldowns like dispersion just yet, so still anyone's match.
Yeah, definitely at this point. Pressure pretty good for both these teams. Mind Games potentially going to land. Lone Tar right now with the Earthen Wall Totem, protecting Valet at all costs. Drainer actually behind on mana, which is really surprising in a matchup like this. Looks like Baka taking a little bit of damage right now. The disarm over onto Drainer, but should be able to power through at the same time. Valet getting dangerously low. Still just getting chopped up in this matchup. Interrupted, throwing in some Shadowlands to help out Lone Tar. So he's going to continuously struggle in this matchup, especially if we do manage to get into dampening. But I feel like at this point, maybe this game doesn't even go into dampening. Just so much pressure for both of these teams to deal with. And we'll see. Stormbolt right now on Baka. Still lots of defense cooldowns available for the side of Creed. In the meantime, they're just going to be putting as many interrupts onto Valet as possible. You just interrupt VT, dispel off VT if it ever doesn't get interrupted. But you can still see that the pressure from Reload Esports is quite high in this matchup. Drainer already 50% mana and really struggling, which is super surprising for me.
Yeah, and we're going to see Valet also struggling a little bit here. He's got this Vampiric Embrace active, trying to get some damage going. Activates the Fade, gets one Shadowman off, gets two Shadowmans off. Going for the Master Spell now, trying to preemptively remove crowd control here. He gets the Hammer of Justice there as well. Back a little bit too slow with that Sundering interrupt there. And now Valet going to be caught up in a Capacitator Totem. Ooh, Wind Shear onto Lontar. Mercy getting, was that the Void Ship? What was that? I'm not even sure how Mercy just flopped like that, but Valet is going to be able to survive. Mercy is going to be able to survive, and no real cooldowns here used on either side so far. It's all about that mana, and it's all about that pressure. You're going to see Baka here once again looking to get aggressive here. Bloodlust has been popped. Mercy immediately stunning Baka here. He gets Blessing of Protection out of it, but a little bit late there. That Bloodlust was dispelled by the time he actually did get that Blessing of Protection, and then the Blessing of Protection also got dispelled, and now he is in a full disarm there. So definitely a lot of defensive plays here coming out from Reload Esports, slowing down Baka's burst. But the next time he has that Bloodlust in 35 seconds, that could be a very scary situation here for Valet. Now Valet, he might be forced to use his Dispersion here. Activates the Fade, gets a big heal off as well there with that Shadowman. And Drainer, once again, just spam Dispelling. Mana is looking in favor of Reload, but they get a full Hex here onto Lontar, into Hammer of Justice. That's going to be Dispersion here, forced by Valet, and he gets kicked here onto Mind Games. Big damage coming out, almost taking him down there. Beautiful, just going all in there as soon as they land that one interrupt. Beautifully done there, almost taking him down with the Shane Harvest, but it's not going to be enough here. Valet is going to hang on by a thread, and that's going to be the Trinket Spirit Link there, though, used by Lontar.
All right, good trade back on the back foot. Overlap by Creed, 2 defensive cooldowns for 1 attack. That does allow Reload Esports at least some opportunities moving forward here. And Drainer's got a lot of redirected damage. Mercy's going to make a swap to the Paladin and try and punish it. How much can he get done here? Down below half, Saved by the Light going to proc. Drainer trying to line of sight the Priest, but he also wants to get healed by Baka. Mercy going to charge back, disarm Baka on the assault here towards Valet, slowing down some of the incoming damage. However, was that actually the Doom Winds? They've saved Bloodlust outside the disarm window. Now going for Bloodlust. They need to purge that off as soon as possible. It doesn't look like they're finding the purges on that Bloodlust. Drainer gets stunned up by the Shadow Priest. Valet gets a big Shadow Mend. Drainer starts to recover. Slight man advantage. Lone Star trying to preempt the incoming Hammer of Justice with Fleshcraft. Gets Wind Sheared. Now looking for a Hex on Drainer's Dispel. Baka needs to remove this right away. He's very low, but so is Valet. Dispersion comes up in 12. Full fear across the board by Mercy. Drainer going to Divine Shield, trying to stabilize his team. The pressure from Reload Esports is suddenly skyrocketing, but Drainer is recovering with the Avenging Wrath. Mana beginning to even out. Potentially still anyone able to take this game. 5 minutes in. Valet down below half. Is he going to have to trade? He's got cooldowns available. Lone Star's trying to fish for interrupts here on a Hex, but also needs to heal at the same time. A dangerous gamble. with dampening having already begun. Stormbolt, I believe, intervened by Mercy there. Now Drainer's charging in. Lone Tar is interrupted. Where's the Hammer of Justice? Waiting to find it. Goes for a Blinding Light instead. And if they've got a Hammer of Justice out of this, Valet could easily die. He's in Earthen Wall Totem, but deciding to leave its defense as it ends. Bloodlust is popped. They really need to get this Bloodlust off, but they're feared up. They can't. They're going to trade Dispersion for it. Mana even between the teams. If Reload Esports can take this and move to match point, they're going to be in a dominant position. Creed cannot afford to lose.
Yeah, no question about that. Silence going out onto Drainer. Still just continuously dispelling those vampiric touches. Baka down to around 50% health right now. Chooses to activate his Astral Shift. Drainer going for crowd control. Hammer of Justice immediately trinketed there by Lone Tar. And we do have a Disarm into a Hex. That gets dispelled into a DR Hex. Great plays there by Lone Tar. That Aura Mastery getting full value of that crowd control right now. Trend low, Baka low as well. Drainer really having to play catch up here. But with that Avenging Wrath, should be able to. And it's going to be Valet more than likely on the back foot. Still no Dispersion for another 45 seconds at this point in the game. But with no trinket on Lone Tar, the next time Blinding Light's available for Drainer and Hammer of Justice, he's really going to be able to set up his team. And 11% dampening, I don't know if Lone Tar is going to be able to recover that amount of damage, but Creed, they have to hold on to get to that point.
Well, let's see if they can do that. Right now, Valet still 25 seconds left here on his dispersion. And for Creed, well, they have nothing left. So next CC chain. Oh, this is it, actually. Full silence on the Drainer. Full fear. Baka, what are you going to do? No tremor available here. Baka taking so much damage here. He does get the sacrifice there with the trinket from Drainer. Hammer of Justice down onto Lone Tar here. Trying to reverse the pressure back onto Valet here. Drainer now looking for the Blinding Light. He gets it, but Lone Tar with a preemptive Spirit Link breaks out of the blind. Beautiful Shaman plays here by Lone Tar, trying to keep his teammates in the fight. Valet now having his dispersion, looking to potentially get aggressive here. If Lone Tar can top him up here, that could be huge here. The Drainer looking for a little bit more aggression. They get a full fear. DR fear actually onto Lone Tar. Preemptive Earthen Wall Totem. Lone Tar has been playing like a king these last couple of minutes here. Can he get a Hex here? He's looking for it. He gets wind sheared by Baka. Door of Shadows coming in from Tran, trying to get back onto his target. Hex now onto Tran here, actually, not onto Baka, which is where you typically would see that. Baka just going to be dispelling that. Baka also using his Astral Shift. Can they get the fear? Valet is looking for it, not able to find it just yet, but they might not even need it. Mercy, though, dropping super low. The Ascendant is going to be traded out by Lone Tar here, keeping Valet, keeping Mercy alive, but that was the last mana for Lone Tar and the last cooldown for Lone Tar. Drainer is completely tapped as well. This game is over any second here, Sid.
Anyone could die on either side at this point, which is surprising. We thought the Shadow Priest would get stomped out, but they're actually in a position where they could possibly win this. Drainer's Avenging Wrath comes off cooldown. He's going to need to clutch out some big holy shocks here to try and get his team back in the fight and push for that dispersion. Spirit Wolves come off cooldown and popped immediately, but Baka dips dangerously low in execute range. Drainer gets silent stop, and that's it. Reload Esports, despite all of us predicting against them, take game number 2. Oh, but it was close. Mana completely even. But despite that, it looks like Creed are going to need perhaps a different answer.
Pally. I knew it from the beginning. I knew it from the start. The Holy Paladin runs out of mana. The Protection Paladin doesn't. It's just a simple equation. I don't know. I really do wonder how this is going to go. I wonder if Drainer actually does play the Mistweaver Monk and just plays like Healing Spheres or something like that to dispel the VT and all the dots, but I'm really not sure. This matchup, I'm really surprised at how much pressure Reload Esports was able to get off. I mean, you have an Enhancement Shaman and a Warrior just interrupting Valet over and over and over. Drainer spam dispelling. They have Shadow Resist Aura, and still Mercy and Valet were able to put out tons of damage in this match, really pressuring both Baka and Tren. And it's at this point when Drainer has nothing left. Baka has no cooldowns, no mana to heal himself. Super deep in dampening. It's just, it's at this point of the game, you just, I don't know, things fall apart really quickly. But at the same time, I mean, Reload Esports, look at how close it was for Creed. Lone Tar had no mana, although Valet still had his dispersion. It was just a matter of time before they fell over as well. So really, really close game. And I think this is just one of those matchups that can go either way after seeing it play out.
Definitely agree with you on that one. Reload Esports now up 2-0 here. If they win this next game, they're going to take this series home with a 3-0 victory. These guys are looking super solid so far, and like Ven already mentioned, we predicted Creed to win this one, but it's going to be Reload Esports that's pulling out ahead right now, and if Creed wants to win this one, they're going to have to win the next 3 games in a row. However, you know, when we were talking about this matchup from the beginning, it seems like Creed kind of has the benefit in terms of compositions here. But so far, Super T's Reload Esports showing pretty strongly against Creed.
Yeah, I think, at least from my own personal experience on the ladder with Turbo into Shadow Priest Warrior, like I said, before the game started, I played Disc Priest, so I thought that was the main reason it was so hard. But it's like a surprising amount of damage when I play against Shadow Priest Warrior, where I'm like thinking like, how am I even taking this much damage with the Shadow Priest got like a Warrior Enhancement Shaman sitting on them? But yeah, I'm not entirely surprised that they were able to get that much pressure out. So I think out of all the Shadow Priest comps, Shadow Priest Warrior is one of the best into the cleave matchups, because the Warrior provides you immunity to physical interrupts with Intervene, also just redirects all that damage. Warrior can counter Enhancement Shaman by disarming the Doom Winds and just stunning the Doom Winds. There's a lot of things that the Warrior counters on the cleave that isn't countered as hard by the Shadow Priest. So I think like if you're struggling with cleave as a Shadow Priest, you should definitely be trying Shadow Priest Warrior.
All right, and if Creed, I was looking at some of the answers for the question for what does AWC stand for.
Always
Wrong
Warriors
answers
carry.
I was like that, or like all Warrior compositions.
Oh, hey, all Warrior.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. But so Ven, you know, if they do decide to go with that Prop Paladin for game number 3 here, how do you feel like that game would go differently for these guys?
I don't know. Maybe the Prop
Or
Paladin.
do you just want to see it?
Well, I just want to see it because I want to see it, but I don't know if it's the best option. I feel like if it was good, they would play it, right? I feel like if you have something that no one else can run and it works, why wouldn't you run it? And so they must think that maybe it's not good in this particular matchup. That Sid said, it's a surprising amount of damage. However, I still want to see it. I feel like at this point, either I want to see them try it with a Mistweaver Monk, or with, I guess they could try the Paladin again. I wonder how Holy Priest Turbo would do. Holy Priest Turbo, probably not
stop.
that good.
I don't think so.
I don't know about that one.
No.
You sounded like Super T's
Why
when you
not?
wanted the Affliction Warlocks in Bafar.
Ben's so on this train of Holy Priest being the next best thing.
I depend
Holy
on
Priest
Creed
could be
to just.
insane.
This is what I just have to say. I depend on Creed because they're the ones that are like,
Break the meta, are willing to do
they
it.
always bring in a third that's random. They still are playing Ellie Mage and Warrior Mage and stuff like that, but they always have that extra little spice. That extra spice that's nice. And I want to see that. I want to see Creed spice things up here, play something that no one expects. Maybe Demon Hunter.
Yeah, I was going to
Shadow
say.
Priest.
bring in
Demon Hunter Shadow Priest could be good. Yep. Let's see it.
Not this matchup, but I agree. I think Demon Hunter Shadow Priest is kind of slept on a little bit, at least on the ladder. But I wouldn't want to. Yeah, you'd never see it. It's an NA thing. It's an
There's
NA
a reason
thing.
why you never see it.
Shadow Priest Demon Hunter. NA meta's gonna infect soon. Like Demon Hunter.
Wait, people play that on NA?
Yeah, Demon Hunter Shadow Priest Shaman. It's randomly
What?
really good into like the Mage Paladin stuff. You have so much just to spell. You just remove Poly on your healer infinitely. You have like double darkness for immunes on goes. It's actually.
Is there anyone even?
There it is.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness! All right, okay.
Thank you. This is the spice. This is the secret recipe. You get a little dash of Prop Pally, a little pinch of Fire Mage, a teaspoon of Ellie Shaman, and then you mix it around on Tolvaron, and that's delicious for Creed. But I don't know. I'm still, I always am a little weirded out when I see a Protection Paladin solo healing, but I have to kind of remember that we've seen Drainer bring games to 50% dampening healing before, so definitely has a throughput. It's possible.
This is the last hurrah. This is the last time.
Yeah, this might be the last time we ever see this composition, at least in Shadowlands. Maybe.
Never know.
Should be. You
Well,
never know unless.
We haven't seen him play Ellie Mage Prot, right? It's only been Warrior Mage
One
Prot.
time they tried it and they got destroyed. I remember them trying it on Dalaran Sewers. I can't remember the team they were facing. They got demolished. They absolutely got destroyed when they played it. So I'm surprised they went Ellie Mage again.
What
I thought they
makes
were going
me
to go Warrior
sad about-
Mage.
What makes me sad for Creed?
What?
It makes me confused. I feel like since they added Baka to their roster, they haven't played the comp that got them the furthest one time. Like, they had this composition that they were literally making top 3 with, and then they haven't played it one time since they got Baka on the roster.
It's
Not once.
like that mental thing where players are, teams are forced to play one composition that doesn't really work, but they somehow figure it out, and then they just make it work and do really well with it. We've seen that before when teams like don't have a certain player with them for a LAN or something they're missing, and then they just make it work with a weird composition. It's like when the pressure's put on them to do something with what they have, they're able to do it, and now Creed doesn't have to do that, so they're not doing it. Maybe that's my theory. Am I making sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know. Maybe it's also like maybe we're conveniently looking past the fact that they played Pro Warrior Mage and they had a deep run with it, but after that, the cat was kind of out of the hat at that point. Like the teams knew what to expect. What about the hat?
The cat was out of the bag.
The hat.
Rabbits are in hats. Rabbits are in hats. Cats are out of the bag. Yeah, rabbits come out of hats. Cats come out of bags.
What?
Yeah, it's out of the bag.
Let the cat out of the bag, and the magician pulled a rabbit out of his hat.
All right. Well, I have a cup hat
on
my mage, and I pull cats out of that one. So come at me.
It's a rabbit. I swear it's a rabbit. I swear you pull a rabbit out of that hat. It is not a cat.
Fine.
It is a rabbit.
Sid, just let me have this one, man.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
It's his first. It's his first day back, and you can't cut him a break, Sid. Come on, man.
Nope.
Oh gosh.
There will be no
point I was
cats
trying to
coming out
make.
of hats.
Yeah. Let's hear your point. Sorry.
The point I was trying to make is that you play something, and you've taken everyone by surprise, and next time you try it, maybe teams are going to know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true too. You're right.
It didn't seem like that.
But they haven't even tried it since they won. They haven't even played it one game
like that.
to know.
You
I
just
don't know, maybe
need
they've been
prod
getting farmed on the
paladin
ladder.
as a soul healer in general. I don't
But
know.
the ladder's different,
Well,
I feel like.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Anyways, it's game number 3 here. Reload Esports versus Creed. Reload Esports on match point. Drainer on the prod paladin once again.
This is okay. So he's Night Fae Paladin, so no Ashen Hollow. We saw him playing Ashen Hollow that one time, but Drainer's just running in. Look at him. He's going in, immune to crowd control, knocking people around. Drainer is okay. Now he's out of there. He's like, yeah, I'm not immune anymore. I'm getting out. He's not going to be able to do that in the future patch, though, which is, I think, the main reason why this comp will fall off. But now that they've chased him away, Mercy looks like he wants to charge in. It's still LE Mage, so you know those Lava Burst combos of Stormkeeper are devastating. Drainer charges in again. Hammer of Justice secured onto Lone Tar. Mercy looks to be the target. He's going to die by the sword immediately. More than a fair trade for Stormkeeper and Combustion. He should be able to stay on the Mage now as a result of that good trade. However, there's the Lava Burst machine gun just pumping out meatballs. And Mercy manages to recover. Nova'd up, trying to make his way to Saza. Charging in, purging off the Freedom. Very important that Valet purges Freedom for the Warrior to stay on target. That will allow the Warrior to actually get some uptime. Now they're going after Baka. And Drainer's mana bar, I think, is a bit misleading because he doesn't use his mana bar for Word of Glory. So even though we see it going down, it's not actually going down. He's not going to have to... I don't even know how he's managed to spend that much mana at this point.
Flash of Light.
Did he press Flash of Light? Why?
Yeah. I don't know why. Don't ask me, but Mercy's taking some damage right now in the midfield, and Saza and Baka basically just baiting Mercy in the open as much as they can. Just going to be dragging this melee into uncharted water where he's basically going to be at the mercy of this Fire Mage and this Elemental Shaman. Get the Lightning Lasso. They're not even going for crowd control on Lone Tar. The only time we've really seen it is when Drainer is immune, like we see right now, knocking everyone away into a full Hammer of Justice. And this is where you want to see the combustion and stuff like that. So a bit of a mistimed crowd control, I'd say, coming in from Creed, but still plenty of opportunities in this game. However, Baka has really overextended at this point. He's been left behind as Drainer and Saza try to rotate and cross the map. I'd like to see more hexes. Actually, they can't, actually. Normally, we saw a lot of hexes out on Saza, and maybe that's the reason they don't want to try it, is that if we see Lone Tar getting a lot of hexes and there's no cross hex to spell, that could be absolutely devastating. So that might be why we're seeing the Elemental Shaman Fire Mage.
Yeah, and we're going to see here Saza getting spell reflected on a poly. Ooh, he gets a double ring of frost though, and they get a follow-up sheep. Villet forced to use that dispersion. The pro is coming alive, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it right there. Cooldowns. This is how it all starts. Drainer spends a little bit of mana, gives the team false sense of security. Then all of a sudden, dispersion gets ripped out, and then slowly but surely, the cooldowns are going to start being forced here from Creed. Let's see what they can do. Villet, what are you going to do? Might need to use his Fade here. Would be another cooldown here, but nope, he's going to survive. Ooh, Mercy, though, taking a lot of damage here, and that's going to be the Night Fae buffs coming out as well here. Big damage on the Mercy still. Lontar going to be able to keep him alive. Had to use his Ascendance, though. Not an ideal situation here. Now he wants to get aggressive here with that Ascendance. They get a sheep onto Mercy. They're trying to slow down the aggression here onto Baka, and Drainer has his wings if he needs to, so he should be able to keep Baka alive. The only thing that basically the entire identity of Creed lives and dies with those wings. Anytime Drainer has them, he's going to be more than enough capable to keep everybody alive. But when he doesn't have those wings, that's typically when we're going to see Drainer trade out the Guardian of the Forgotten Queen, Sacrifice, things like that to keep his teammates alive. And he's always going to be playing around those wings, trying to rotate around them. Anytime he has those active, there's no way anybody on Creed dies, and unless he gets crowd controlled maybe, but if he's free healing with those wings, there's no way. And we're going to see Mercy here once again trying to get back on target, and Baka just running laps around the entire map here. Those wings are finally running out now for Drainer. Now this is a scary situation. You can see Drainer immediately responding with his trinket, responding with the sacrifice there, keeping Saza alive. And now once again they need to try to survive until they have those wings and look to set something up here. Villet is going to have he has his dispersion, so those couple of cooldowns that they forced out earlier on the side of Creed not going to be available or are going to be available now for Reload Esports.
Trainer's just trying to get Word of Glory Holy Power as he's at 10% behind the pillar. Charging in now with crowd control immunity for Hammers down, but Saza gets bursted. Guardian of Ancient Queen is going to come out from Drainer. Mercy moves over and fears the immunity effect, so a nice counterplay on Drainer's defensive cooldown. His entire team being whittled away, and spread pressure is a good way to counter the prop paladin. It's all single target burst healing, so if Villet can maintain dots on 3 targets, that's definitely a way to win deeper into dampening here. They're not going to win on mana. They have to win on overwhelming pressure and making it so the Word of Glory is not enough. But Drainer's ranged prop paladin build allows him to develop holy power even while not being in melee range of a target. So that's why we see him healing back at the pillar and only charging out when he's on his horse, which makes him immune to crowd control. He stuns Lone Tar, but Saza gets blasted and he's trying to recover. Drainer has Avenging Wrath, big Word of Glories. As a result, you're not going to kill against the Protection Paladin during the Avenging Wrath. Mercy is just trying to stay on target, keep Mortal Strike up. But even still, I don't think it's enough. Villet gets blasted down by Baka. Big counter engagement, but Fade Immune is going to allow him to survive. Lontar's trying to get back behind the pillar, but gets intercepted by a Dragon's Breath. Gets gripped out of the Ring of Frost. Nice life grip by Villet. Mercy going to charge into Baka, but Lontar actually gets polymorphed. Trainer's moving in. Is he going to go for a Hammer of Justice? Who's it going to be on? Mercy's going to trade Die by the Sword. They purge Combustion, so they do manage to stop a lot of Saza's damage. The Die by the Sword is more than fair. They're going to recover and then try to get back on target. Leapy on Saza. Saza blinks. Baka's lobbing out a couple Lava Bursts or Shock on Lontar. Even just attacking the healer, trying to pull anyone out into the open and then eradicate them. Big Lava Burst coming in into Villet and Lone Tar once again. Baka is just absolutely destroying them at the moment. Drainer going to use Sacrifice, redirect damage to himself. Try and get some holy power here, but Saza gets Storm Bolted. They're swapping off to Sacrifice, trying to chop up Saza. We see Baka lobby in some healing surges as well to try and support the team here. Drainer's running out of cooldowns. Really only the Divine Shield left. Popping his Ardent Defender as well to reduce damage on himself in this position. And with how many cooldowns are available to Reload Esports, I'm starting to feel like they've got this.
I think it's looking good. I mean, Drainer's really struggling with the pressure. That being said, Lone Tar now in a full polymorph. Villet gets topped off. Big heals. Managed to catch a big Shadowman on himself. Saza pushing forward right now. Drainer kind of knocking everyone around like a bowling ball. And getting those bowling pins all over the place, looking for crowd control potentially, but everyone is rotting down. 13% dampening at this point of the game. Triple crowd control does come in, but there's just no damage to follow it up. Saza has about 20 seconds left on that combustion. It gets interrupted on that shifting power. Mercy just delaying that combustion as long as it can. Big mind games potentially onto Baka. If he gets the mind games, it's going to be absolutely it's actually kind of a scary situation because Drainer, he cannot dispel the mind games. So not going to be able to really help out Ibaka in that situation. Really just going to have to power through with healing. If we look at mana, I mean, Drainer, if they can sustain, there's a lot of scary moments in this match, but still his mana is not going down. He's going to be able to hold on for quite some time. What's going to limit him is his throughput. So if he doesn't have the globals to actually get the holy power, to use the healing, that's when we're going to see his team really fall behind. But in this position, if Mercy can't push in, can't get damage rolling, things are not looking too bad. Silence now on Drainer. Guardian of the Forgotten Queen, nicely done there by Drainer. Baka will survive more than likely as a result, but just 3 pressure points here for Reload Esports. They're going after all 3 members of Creed, and Drainer is struggling to keep everyone alive.
And Drainer still no wings here for about another minute. He has Sacrifice rotating back up in a couple of seconds. So this is definitely the time for Reload Esports here to get aggressive. Let's see what they can get done here. And Mercy is going to be immediately running out in midfield here, looking for some pressure. Mind games here being casted out by Villet. He's not going to be able to find it. Lontar in a Ring of Frost here. Mercy finally going to be out of crowd control. Immediately looking to get some pressure onto Saza here with that Stormbolt. And Drainer's going to have those wings in about 30 seconds. He's powering out a couple of holy lights. He has his sacrifice that's going to be buying him plenty of time as well. So I think at this point on the side of Creed, they've played, pretty nice defense, and they've stalled long enough here to actually get their cooldowns back. Nice polymorph, actually a Hex there into Hammer of Justice. They got a polymorph and a Hex and a Hammer of Justice. Big triple cross crowd control, but still they only get the fade there from Villet. And now Drainer is going to have to use a Word of Glory right there. That was a big one, but he is going to have his wings coming back up and potentially going to be activating those immediately if he has to. He's going to just trade out the Sacrifice here instead, holding on to them for a little bit longer. There we go. There's the wings. Now, I want to see Reload Esports here just take a step back, and that's exactly what they're kind of doing. Just go back behind the pillar. Drainer is going to try to get aggressive. They knock out Lontar. They're swapping to Lontar here, actually. Big damage coming in, but he doesn't connect the Meteor there, and Saza is not going to be able to get too much more with that setup. He's actually the one taking the damage here. Mercy's all over him. Baka trying to knock Mercy away there, but he gets rooted at the same time. Hex now onto Lontar, and a Lightning last one to Mercy. Mercy's taking a decent amount of damage here as well from that alley mage, but Villet backing him up with a couple of Shadowmans. He's going to be able to keep him alive, and those wings are out now. So once again, Creed's on the back foot.
All right, let's see if they can stabilize. Shattering throw on the ice block. Saza's on the run. Mercy is going into enemy territory behind the pillar, leaping on the whole team, dropping a Stormbolt. Saza going to use a medallion to break free, trying to escape, but the freedom got purged. They stun up Mercy. They lob and lava burst into a grounding totem. Lontar grounded all of that damage that would have connected onto Mercy, potentially even just killed him at that moment in time. Beautiful grounding totem, and look at the pressure. This is deep dampening Villet, Shadow Priest territory. Fear onto the healer. He trinkets out, overlapped, and it doesn't even matter. Saza's cauterized, going to trigger. They are all melting. They are all whittled and rotted away from Villet. Void Eruption channeled. Villet tears in. Shadower Death range on 2%. Barely recovering. Drainer Divine Shields to try and get Holy Power to heal up here. Oh my goodness, that Ancient Queen comes in at 1%. The Cap Totem on the Ancient Queen. Now Saza gets swapped too. Saza blinks back behind. Baka's trying to heal up. Mercy leaps in for the slam dunk execute. Somehow, some way, Drainer's trying to buy time, but it's not enough to buy it to that Avenging Wrath coming up in 7 seconds. That is going to be it for Creed until the circuit. Reload Esports make it to Sunday.
And they do it in style, too. I mean, that was a really impressive performance with this composition. And I think this composition, the Shadow Priest Warrior Shaman, is going to be very important for this team's overall success, especially, you know, going up against some of these other teams that are playing Shadow Priest Fire Mage. I feel like this is something they just really have to have nailed down. And I think in this particular series, it looked really good.
Yeah, I think so as well.